Hello everyone, my name is Anurag PV. I am an employed scholar at Department of Architecture and Planning, College of Engineering, Trivandrum in Kerala. I am here to present my research topic titled Measures for Mitigating Adverse Impacts of Tourism in Wetlands. Starting with abstract, wetlands are among the most productive ecosystem globally, providing crucial services such as water filtration, food resources, building materials, transportation routes, and coastal protection. Additionally, they support recreational and tourism activities, collectively known as an ecosystem services. And however, these wetlands are faced significant threats from urbanization, pollution, resource over-harvesting, climate change, and tourism. Tourism in particular leads to habitat destruction, pollution, and environmental degradation, compromising water quality and soil stability. And thus, assessing the impacts of tourism on wetlands is essential to develop strategies that enhance their resilience and protect these critical ecosystems. A practical approach to promote sustainable tourism involves implementing visitor management strategies that regulate visitor behavior to minimize site impacts. Zoning is an effective visitor management tool that aims to balance the negative impacts of tourism while promoting ecotourism and wetland restoration. This research focuses on importance of zoning and identifying specific zoning parameters to manage tourism impacts in Kerala's wetlands, aiming to support sustainable tourism and conservation efforts. Then about the background study, that is why wetlands. Wetlands are highly productive and biologically diverse systems that enhance water quality, control erosion, maintain stream flows, sequester carbon, and provide a home to at least 1/3 of threatened and endangered species. It provides many local people with a means of livelihood and serve as a habitat for a variety of flora and fauna. Then next is benefits of wetlands. That is flood control, wastewater treatment, reducing sediment loads, and recharging of aquifers. Then stabilization of local climate, groundwater recharging, suitable habitats for fish and other flora and fauna, valuable for their education and scientific interest. The last one is recreational benefits. Then classification of wetlands. There are mainly 5 types of wetlands, that are estuary, that is deltas, tidal marshes and mudflats. Then lacustrine, natural lakes, marine, coastal wetlands, river and stream, palustrine, marshy and swamps and bogs. In addition, there are human-made wetlands like fish and shrimp ponds, farm ponds, irrigated agricultural land, including rice paddies, salt pans, dams, reservoir, etc. Then about the Ramsar Convention. The Ramsar Convention on Wetlands was established in 1971 by UNESCO in the city of Ramsar in Iran. Then about the wetlands of the world. The world has 7 to 9 million square kilometers of wetland, which is 4 to 6% of the land surface. Currently, there are 2,400 Ramsar sites around the world. They cover over 2.5 million square kilometers. Then the country with the greatest area of listed wetlands in Bolivia with around 148,000 square kilometers. Pantanal wetland is the largest tropical wetland which across the 3 countries, that are Bolivia, Brazil and Paraguay. Then about the distribution of wetlands in India. India has a total number of 7,57,060 wetlands, which is 4.63% of the total geographical area, and as of 2023 there are 75 Ramsar sites in India that covers approximately around 13.27 thousand square kilometers of land. And Sundarban wetland in West Bengal is the largest Ramsar site, and Vambanur wetland in Tamil Nadu is the smallest Ramsar site. This map shows the state-wise number of wetlands in India. Then about the distribution of wetlands in Kerala. There are 4,354 wetlands in Kerala, that is 4.13% of the total state. Then Kerala has 3 Ramsar sites, that are Ashtamudi wetland, Shastangoda wetland and Vambanadu Code wetland. This is the map shows 3 Ramsar sites in Kerala. Then about the major threats to wetlands. Alteration of natural regimes, catchment degradation, pollution, invasive species, over-harvesting resources, tourism and climate change. Then about the need of the study. Wetlands are a significant part of the global tourism experience, and wetlands among the world's most economically valuable ecosystem and essential regulators of the global climate are disappearing 3 times faster than the forest. Approximately 35% of the world wetlands were lost between 1970 to 2015. Then in India, 38 Ramsar sites under threat due to tourism. Then compared to other states of the country, wetlands in Kerala and hills are under threat because of tourism development activities. Backwaters are the main focus of tourism in Kerala. The Vembanad estuary natural banks once covered in mangrove forest have been cleared for tourism facilities. And the area of Vembanad estuary has shrunk from 365 square kilometer to 179.25 square kilometer. Then Baker Estate at Kumaragam, which had the longest mangrove stretch in Kerala till the 90s, was extensively felled for construction of Kerala tourism development. Large area of Ashtamudi have been reclaimed for development projects and more are earthmarked for upcoming projects. Then Malarikal wetland in Kottayam is one of the destinations that facing the adverse impacts of tourism. Others in Kerala are Unyappara in Kodamangalam, Paidalmala in Kannur, Panchalamed in Kuttikanam, Kainagiri in Alappuzha, Vembanad Kol, and the Western Ghat in Wayanad. This paper cutting shows the over tourism in Kerala, and these statistics and these reports shows that there is various adverse impacts that affect the wetlands, and hence it is important to study different methods to mitigate these impacts due to tourism. The aim of the study is to identify the parameters of a suitable mitigation measures to reduce adverse impacts of tourism in wetlands. The major objectives are to conduct background study on wetlands, wetland tourism and its impact, to identify suitable method for reducing adverse impacts of tourism, to compare and analyze various case examples of the identified method, and last one is to identify different parameters for the selected method to mitigate the negative impacts of tourism in wetlands. Limitation: there are different threats that affect wetlands. This study only focuses on the threat of tourism and its mitigation measures. Methodology I have followed in this study is, first of all, introduction, that is formulation of aim and objectives, need of the study, scope of the study and limitation. Then literature study, that is wetland and its importance and their classification. Then about Ramsar Convention, then global, national and state scenario of wetlands. Then major threats, last one wetland tourism and its impact. Then identification of different methods and tools. Then comparative analysis. Comparative analysis of different methods and identification of suitable methods to address the issue spatially. Then about the case study, reviewing different case examples on the suitable method. Then the comparative analysis of the case examples. Then last one is the identification of different parameters for the selected method. Then about the literature study. First of all, wetland tourism. Wetlands offer significant opportunities for tourism and recreation, generating income for government, for the tourism industry itself, and also for local communities. Of the 2,400 Ramsar sites, there is 1,750 wetlands are reported to provide ecosystem services related to tourism and recreation. Then wetland tourist destinations in Kerala. Kerala is one of the major tourist destinations in Kerala. In India. Then Kerala's wetlands include lakes, beaches and backwaters, and the backwaters are the popular tourist destination for domestic and international tourists. Vembanad Lake, Ashtamudi Lake, Shastangota Lake are the best wetland tourist destination in Kerala. And also there are Thrissur Cold Wetland, Sarovaram Biopark in Calicut, Katamali, Valavattanam Kuppam Wetland in Kannur. Then Kettuvallam, that is also known as Kerala Houseboat. In the backwaters are one of the most prominent tourist attractions in Kerala. And other activities that is happening in wetlands are speedboating, fishing, local farming, kayaking, homestays, clam collection, cycle tourism and ferry service. Then about the impacts, excessive tourism and its impact. Tourism has been considered a major issue by environmentalists so far, as it environmental damage to natural tourist sites is concerned. For example, the Dal Lake, that is in Jammu and Kashmir, which was 25 square kilometers 5 decades ago, is only 10 square kilometers in 2020. And the major impacts are shrinkage, pollution, encroachment, siltation, reduction in migratory birds, and overexploitation. Then about the rules and regulations for wetlands. Wetlands receive protection from several central rules and regulations. Indian Forest Act 1927, Indian Wildlife Protection Act 1972, and the Forest Conservation Act 1980 defines the regulatory framework for wetland located within forest and designated protected areas. The Kerala Conservation of Paddy Land and Wetland Act 2008. It is an act to conserve paddy land and wetland and to restrict the conversion or reclamation in order to promote growth in the agriculture sector and to sustain the ecological system in Kerala. The Ministry of Environment, Forest, Climate Change has notified Wetland Conservation and Management Rules 2017 as a regulatory framework for the conservation and management. The Wetlands Conservation and Management Rules 2017 have enhanced the focus of management of wetlands from a central authority to state bodies, that is state wetland authorities. Then these are the list of literatures that I have referred to identify the best method, suitable method to mitigate the adverse impacts of tourism in wetlands. And from this literature, I have observed that two complementary approaches to managing visitors in natural areas like wetlands and forest are visitor management and site management. The visitor management is direct and the site management is concerned with the location and management of facilities and site restoration. Visitor management is an important tool for minimizing the adverse impacts of tourism in natural and protected areas. And literature says that visitor management strategies can successfully mitigate negative impacts of visitation on a site. Then I have identified 5 major mitigation measures from those literatures, that are zoning, carrying capacity, limits of accessible change, price discrimination, and site hardening. And visitor management tool, and I have selected zoning as a visitor management tool because we can spatially regulate the visitor flow in that wetland area or protected areas. It is designated to allow geographical area for specific levels and intensities of human activities and of conservation. Since 1960, zoning as a management tool has proceeded for managing protected areas. It involves a range of spatial zones with varying levels of intensity of human activity. Zoning should apply to all activities occurring within a protected area, conservation, the other land uses, and the recreation and tourism. The several benefits of zoning are zoning oriented to establishing standards of accessible human impacts helps to control the spread of undesirable impacts. Zoning provides a better understanding of the distribution and nature of different recreation and tourism opportunities within and around the protected areas. The process of zoning helps managers, operators, visitors, and local communities to understand values of the natural site. Then I have studied 3 case studies all around the world. That is, first one is Wuliang Suhai Natural Reserve in China. It is a typical wetland reserve which can represent most of the other wetland reserve in China for both human utilization and for its function as a bird habitat. The existing zoning model in this Wuliang Suhai Natural Reserve is three zone model, that are core zone, that includes protected area, buffer zone, that is organized for various activities including education, training, tourism, and recreational facilities, and the last one is the experimental zone, and that is outer area where people live and work using the natural resources. Then they formulated a four zone model. It includes core area, that is zone are those of highest conservation value with the minimum human interventions. Then limited use zone, that is proposed limited use zone function as a buffer in minimizing negative and external effects of human activities. Then a third one is the wise use zone. These wise use zones are designed to maintain good condition for fisheries, other harvesting tradition, and wetland culture. The last zone is the risk control zone. To relieve and remove ecological risk, an area of drainage and canal system in the west shore. These are the four zone model in WNR. The next case study is Parishan Lake in Iran. This is the beautiful freshwater lake in Iran which offers beautiful nature landscape, biological diversity, density of different species of migratory birds, recreation and educational facilities. And first, the existing zoning system was from this figure we can show this a four zone model, and then they have created additional two zones in that three main zones in that area, two protected and one recreation zone. And the recreation zone in turn was divided into central zone and two proposed zones: intensive recreation zone and extensive recreation zone. And then and the last one is the conservation zone. Then Ansari, the third one is the Ansari Lake in Iran. The Ansari wetland is located in Iran. It is internationally known as an important wetland for migratory birds. Wetland surrounded by flooded marshes features reedbeds and floating leaf plants. Communities have inhabited Ansari wetland for centuries, exploiting resources for farming, handicrafts, fishing and hunting to meet food needs and income through wetland product sales. Then to reduce these human activities and threats from the human activities, they have created a three zone model, that is wetland zone model. This wetland zone model again divided into protected subzone, vice subzone. Then second zone is buffer zone, low impact agriculture, industrial and productive activities. Then the transition zone. In this transition zone, all of the above plus other developmental activities can occur. These are the three case studies I have studied in this research. Then the analysis of case studies are: it is a primary objective to mitigate the detrimental impacts of tourism by regular visitor access within designated areas. Case studies have demonstrated the effectiveness of zoning in controlling human activities and preserving the ecological integrity wetlands. Each wetland possesses unique ecological characteristics influencing the development of specific zones. Zoning helps tailor visitor experience by delineating areas suitable for different activities, thus enhancing both conservation efforts and visitor satisfaction. Consideration for zoning includes factors such as migrating birds, bird pattern, nearby land use, cultural features, hydrology, slope, human activity levels, vegetation types, soil quality, presence of endangered species, and the involvement of local communities. These are the major parameters that I have identified from those literature case studies. Then I have conducted a primary study in Ashtamudi Lake. This is one of the Ramsar site in Kerala, which is the second largest wetland ecosystem in Kerala next to Vembanad Lake. This estuarine system lies in Kollam district, and it consists of several creeks like Ashtamudi Kayal, Kumbalathu Kayal, then Kandanjira Kayal, etc. The total extent of the fragile lake is 45 square kilometer. The total extent of the lake was recently shrunk to an area of 45 square kilometer from the original 53.89 square kilometer. This is the map. This is the location of the Ashtamudi Lake in Kerala. Then the features I have identified from these primary studies are: houseboats stays a popular choice for visitors, offering a unique way to experience the scenery, waterways. Then birding enthusiasts, then kayaking and canoeing provides active pursuits for adventure seekers. Then nature hikes. Then last one, cultural experience like to participate with and communicate with the local communities, learn about the traditional fishing methods, etc. Then the issues identified from these primary studies are: anthropogenic activities such as construction of roads and bridges, establishment of settlements, etc. Waste disposed from the houseboats, pollution due to application of fertilizers, pesticides is also causing harm to wetlands. Then construction of walls along the banks of the estuary and building activities, disposal of industrial effluents, agricultural waste and urban sewage. These are the issues identified from the primary studies. Then I have done an expert opinion survey which include 15 experts like urban planners, urban designers, academician, then environmental officer, that is in State Wetland Authority Kerala, then assistant town planners. Then I have conducted this expert opinion survey in 2 phases. First phase includes 2 questions that are, in your opinion, wetland tourism in Kerala induces more positive or negative impacts. The 80% of the experts says that they create positive impacts. Then from the following tools, which is the most important tool to mitigate the impact of tourism in wetlands. These were 5 tools are zoning, limits of accessible change, site hardening, carrying capacity and price discrimination. Then in phase 2 includes 3 questions that are in zoning is considered as an important tool to mitigate tourism impacts. Is a zoning model required for wetland conservation to reduce the tourism impacts in Kerala, and list the parameters to considered for zoning in wetland conservation. These are the questions I have chosen for the expert opinion survey. Then the analysis from the expert opinion survey: tourism activities create negative impacts to the wetland through littering of waste, unregulated tourism, improper management of resources. From the survey, it is identified that majority including 80% of experts expressed the view that wetland tourism in Kerala tends to yield more negative consequences than positive ones. It is seen that zoning, 73% of experts says that is considered most important than other mitigating measures. Carrying capacity also followed by zoning. And the expert also states that the importance of new zoning model is very important to conserve the wetlands. Then I identified parameters from the expert opinion surveys are topography, local drainage pattern, cultural significance, biodiversity indices, flora and fauna diversity, the demographic profile of affected population, and the susceptibility to climate change. And the analysis and inference. The literature study and expert opinion highlight the zoning is a crucial visitor management tool in wetlands to mitigate the negative impacts of tourism, to regulate visitor access to different areas, and each wetland has unique characteristics, so necessitating the identification of various parameters for preparing a zoning model. The identified parameters from literatures and the expert opinion survey are vegetation, hydrology, migratory birds, endangered species, land use, cultural value, human activity, topography, local community, and last one is the connectivity to other ecosystem. This table shows how these parameters affect the zoning model. Then the conclusion. Conclusion of the research is Kerala is known as the land of backwaters. It is home to numerous wetlands that are crucial for the state's ecological balance and socio-economic fabric. Protecting these wetlands is essential for future economic prosperity. Responsible ecotourism can boost the economy, promote environmental awareness, and facilitate wetland restoration. Sustainable practices must be adopted to mitigate adverse impacts. The visitor management is a key strategy, with zoning being a key tool for control in wetland tourist destination. Zoning model must be considered key parameters specific to each wetland sites, providing planners with the crucial information to develop policies that reduce the negative effects of tourism on wetlands. Thank you.